right. So we're going to go to the Tesla, www.tesla.com. And then you'll just scroll through, or you can click on, whichever model you want at the top. Um, One thing that I'll share really, really quick though is that if you're wanting to schedule a test drive, there's actually the option to submit a request for a test drive. So under the menu, you would choose the test drive option, and then you would pick which model that you wanted to test drive, and then you would submit some information. And basically, somebody at the local Tesla store will get in touch with you of like times that will be available for you. But jumping on over, um, basically, even if they were, you said, yes, I want to buy a car and everything like that, the ordering process is going to be exactly what you see here. So even in the store, some of the some of the advisors there can help you, walk through, talk to you more about features, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you're putting in your order, it's going to be through the Tesla website. So one thing that I'll also suggest is this is to check out if there's any existing inventory. Every once in a while, something might pop up, but that's an option, as well as if you're looking into used models, that's also available on the website. But if we jump over to here and we say to order now, I'm going to just share the configuration that I went through. One thing they show by default when they're showing these prices is the potential savings. So the potential savings are going to factor in um, gas savings, and then if there happens to be any incentives and stuff for your for your state. So it'll already factor those costs. I mean those savings in when calculating on the potential savings. So I went ahead and went with the Model Y long range. The paints, they do have different colors, although there is a price if you're looking at the blue, the black, or the red. I was just going to go with the white this time because I kind of like the pearliness of it. The wheels, what I've seen is that sometimes it gets defaulted to the Gemini, or sorry, the induction wheels, and they are a $2,000 increase in the price. The Gemini wheels are included at no extra price, and they actually do have a little bit more of a range for that. I did end up getting the tow hitch. If you have any inkling of needing that, I would suggest putting that as part of your order configuration, because if you're ordering it after the fact, it ends up being a $1,300 difference, or $1,300, so a $300 difference than if you just add it part of your configuration. I went with the white interior. I thought that the white seats were beautiful and gorgeous. Definitely like the really clean and crisp look of it. I do like black as well, but I went to decide to go with the white. The difference between the two is not only the seat color, but also along the front dash and the front doors. The white or the wood grain is what you'll find between the black and the white. Um, Lastly, what I will say, and this is totally my personal opinion, but if you were considering and you only really need 5 seats, unless you're needing that extra hatchback space on the regular, I would suggest taking a peek at the Model 3, checking it out, because the seating size of it is pretty much identical. The only major difference between the Y and the 3, or the noticeable difference I'll see in terms of the seating, is that the Y sits higher up. There's a little bit more headspace. Um, Legroom wise, I think there's like a little bit more in the Y as opposed to the 3, but there's still a decent amount of legroom in the 3. And the cost difference is actually quite significant. So if you're not looking to use it on a regular basis to have that hatchback, and you're just needing like a 5 seat, consider checking out the Model 3, because it's actually quite an incredible car. On the flip side, right, if you're looking for the Y, I personally needed more seats. I wasn't too big, I wasn't too needy on the big trunk or anything like that. The Y does have a bigger front trunk space, And then of course the rear hatchback does add a little bit more of a different dimension in terms of that when you have all the seats up. But I personally would say if you're going with the Y and you're needing that extra seats and you're needing the extra space, go ahead and get the 7. Yes, it is for smaller passengers, maybe not more than 5'7", but if you have kids, if you have smaller passengers, it definitely does come in handy. So suggest that when you're looking at some of these features and such, when you see the view, then you're able to see like pictures, a little bit more information on some of the specs in there. Um, it's a little bit different, with other manufacturers. You can like see like, the car catalog and you can get a lot more information on the specs and stuff. So this is one way to see more of the specs that they highlight in here. So that's one way to see that as well. The last couple of features that are eligible for you to add as part of your order configuration is enhanced autopilot and full self-driving. So one thing that I'll say is like there's no difference like hardware wise, whatever you order, your car is going to come with the hardware needed. It's literally just access to the software. So with that, there isn't any rush for you to need to have this added to your configuration package. And then, truth be told, it doesn't really look like it impacts your delivery window either, because there really isn't any difference for that. Now, previously, historically, that was a little bit of a game changer that people tended to get if they had put in the self driving in there, that they happened to get a quicker delivery window. But right now, it doesn't make a difference, and you can always add that on later. Charging. So charging is going to be important. If you don't already have a setup for a charging, is that you'll probably do want to purchase the mobile connector, if not the wall connector. The mobile connector is what I would personally recommend, only because if you were to install other types of um, uh, uh, plugs, like if you're actually needing like a NEMA 1450 or whatever it is, that there might be incentives locally through maybe your electric company or stuff like that. So check that out before deciding if you want to go with the wall connector. Now, even though I said that, I found the wall connector to be very convenient. I personally had that installed. However, it does come at a higher cost than if you're going with a mobile connector and then you go with, the kind of outlet that the dryers get plugged into, that kind of thing. So it is a higher cost. So just kind of something to think about. But yeah, my personally, because my situation was that I already had a wall connector, I didn't need to do that. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to just show a little bit of a difference. So once you're good with your configuration, they'll give you like a summary of what types of options that you've chosen, right? Um, the other thing, if you wanted to see it beforehand, is they'll give you like the total cost breakdown of like at the end of the day, it's 70,990 for the configuration that was selected, and then they do have a destination fee as well. Um, but they do also further break down a little bit more where, okay, they're going to tag on the order fee is what it is. It doesn't get, uh, it's not like you put in a deposit or anything like that. It's literally an order fee. So you're going to get charged that no matter what. And then your destination fee on top of your configuration price. The mobile connector is something that does get charged as far as like what you're going to be buying today, right? Like what you would be placing a charge on your credit card for, and that's because they do have like that's technically like a product that they're going to be providing to you. Um, similarly for the wall connector, the same thing would happen was that you'll see the $400 charge for that as well. For the mobile connector, they would actually have it like they'll give it to you in your trunk when you pick up your car. The wall connector, however, they'll ship it whenever that order is fulfilled, so you can prepare, right? You can get your installation arranged in advance of that. Then what you're doing is like just like filling out your information, filling out your card information and stuff like that, and then you're placing your order. After you complete your order, you'll get a confirmation screen, and then you'll probably get a text from your Tesla advisor pretty quickly in downloading the Tesla app. They'll provide a link for how to download that Tesla app, and then within the Tesla app, you're completing your next steps. So there's a whole bunch of checklist items that's needing to happen. First of which is going to be registration, filling out that information for your registration. And then there's also, if you wanted to do a trade-in, how you're paying for your car, just following along with those steps. And then it's basically just a waiting game. So when I finish my checklist steps, then my delivery window had updated to a little bit more of an accurate thing. At first it was January through April, but then it had moved to February through April. And then it's basically just a waiting game until they get you a VIN assigned. Your Tesla advisor should be keeping you updated via text message of any kind of next steps that's going to happen. But pretty much after you've completed your checklist items, you're just waiting for your VIN to be assigned. Once your VIN is assigned, you'll get a text that's saying your VIN is assigned. Complete any other next steps as in getting your Tesla actually insured, right? So you get the VIN, you can provide that to your insurance company and actually upload proof of insurance. And then what happened for me was that basically the next morning after I got my VIN assigned, I was given the opportunity to schedule delivery. And that one's pretty simple too. You'll basically follow the link in the text, or you'll go into the app and then follow the screens for that. You pick a date. They usually give you like 3 days out, kind of a thing, and then some windows of time there. What happened with I did it, basically they gave me an update that my vehicle's on site. If it's already on site, if I wanted to pick it up, feel free to reschedule. And then also they gave me a text about 10 minutes before my scheduled time for that my vehicle is almost ready. So a lot of communication I felt through texting from the delivery advisor for that. So there you have it. That was my experience from ordering all the way through just before picking up my car. Thank you for watching. I do plan to post a couple more videos around content specific to my Model Y, but also just like how I started the EV journey in general and all that fun stuff. So thanks everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.